Seeing a rebellious team blasting music, skating, and vandalism, nah, this is what the early 2000s was about. I mean, I wasn't a teen then, I was like 6, but I still was aware about what was going on around me. Like, look at games like Tony Hawk Underground, where that's pretty much the theme of the entire game and the story. But even before that game was released, that look and feeling was captured perfectly and no other than
Jet Set Radio!
Now, from what my analytics tell me, I'm pretty sure my audience remembers or knows what Jet Set Radio is. Jet Set Radio is a game that was released in the year 2000. That's right, the big Y2K where apparently the world was supposed to end, but yeah, here we are. I mean, the way things are going out here, maybe it should have ended for real. It was developed by a team founded in Japan called Smilebit, who before making Jet Set Radio made a game called The Typing of the Dead. And as I was looking into it, it was actually a pretty well received game. It was originally released in 1999 in Japanese arcades, but later ported to the Sega Dreamcast in 2001. So even though it was made a year before Jet Set Radio, it was ported a year after. To see them jump from an intense horror game to something so vibrant and poppy within a year is impressive. It's funny, The Typing of the Dead was criticized for its outdated graphics, but I love Jet Set Radio's graphics. They really nailed it. Also, Jet Set Radio was the first game to use cel-shaded graphics for games and became the pioneer and inspiration for many games when it came to that look. But let's get more in depth about this game because I love it. The director of this game, please forgive me if I fuck this up, was Masayoshi Kukichi, and the art was by Ryuta Arura. I hope I pronounced those names right. Forgive me if I didn't. Evidently, the main inspiration for Jet Set Radio was the late 90s Japanese pop culture, mainly the game Parappa the Rapper, and also the rebellious anti-establishment theme from Fight Club, with the cherry on top being the influence of the 80s American hip-hop culture for graffiti. You really can tell the way the characters are designed, the clothes they wear, and the music they listen to. Like, come on, just look at Combo. This just screams 80s rap scene. Like, this could be MC Hammer's cousin or something. The environments were based on the Tokyo shopping districts in Shibuya and Shujuki, with graffiti designed by artists including Eric Hayes. It was one of the star standout games that released on the Sega Dreamcast, even though there weren't many to begin with. It received a Game Boy Advance release in 2003 and was re-released in 2012 to the 360, PS3, Windows, iOS, PlayStation Vita, and Android. Now, me personally, I didn't even play it on the Dreamcast, and I didn't even play it on one of the other platforms in 2012. I actually played it like July of last year. But that wasn't my first encounter with the franchise. My initial encounter with it was around 2011 when my mama came home with a new game. And you know, she was a little bit older, and y'all know a lot of times parents don't really know the differences in games, right? She told me she found a game for me in the bargain bin, God bless her heart. It was an original Xbox game, not an Xbox 360 game, but I appreciate it for trying, you know? It was Jet Set Radio Future. I couldn't even play it because I didn't know what my brother did with their original Xbox, so it was just a game that laid around for a while and eventually ended up being lost. So how did I eventually play Jet Set Radio? For a month or two, I was seeing screenshots or clips of Jet Set Radio on my timeline. I said, you know what, I'm gonna finally give this game a try. Plus, it was like $4 on Steam, so of course I'm gonna get that steal. How fast I got addicted to that game was crazy. But let me slow down and talk about the story real quick. We're introduced to the city of Tokyo, or just Tokyo, where gangs are running rampant with inline skates and headphones blasting a station called Jet Set Radio, ran by DJ Professor K. The ones running around causing crimes are called Rudies by the people of Tokyo, but they have actual names though. We play as the gang called the GGs, whose members are Beat, Gum, and Tab, also their dog parts. They've been fighting for control of the city against their rivals, the Love Shockers, the Noise Saints, and Poison Jam. There's also a gang called the Golden Rhinos, but we'll get into them later. They've all been causing so much chaos that the police have been cracking down on all gangs, and the captain, Onishima, is super eager to put an end to all of this. Bro, let me tell you how insane these people are. These are just kids spray painting graffiti, right? Why are they sending tanks and motherfuckers with jetpacks and ARs? They're acting like they fighting the Taliban. But anyways, DJ Professor making his announcements over the radio after missions was one of my favorite things. His personality, voice, and the way he's animated is so intriguing to me. And the music that plays in the background of each scene never gets old. But the GD's home turf Shibuya was attacked by the Love Shockers, so they had to go out and defend their home. As they went out to put in work, the dog Potts was suspected to be kidnapped by the group Poison Jam, so the GGs had to go get Potts back from them. After taking over Poison Jam's turf, Kokanacho, a mysterious black car snatched one of the members up. But during the kidnapping, there was a piece of a broken record left in a mask. So now we're starting to see there's something spooky going on. We'll eventually find out it was actually the Noise Tanks who took Potts. The Noise Tanks roam in the streets of Bencho, and they're basically the Cyber S gang because they sell software to afford the spray paint. They even caused a blackout in their city, so I guess you could say they on some Lizard Squad shit. So you know what the GGs have to do. By the way, if you haven't caught on, the neighborhoods in every gang are just from actual places in Japan. I'm not complaining, but you know, it's just something to point out. But after beating the Noise Tanks, the GGs found another piece of a record, and it fits with the first one from Poison Jam. So there's only one assumption, that the Love Shockers have the last piece. But comes to find out, they were holding a Golden Rhino badge. I mentioned the Golden Rhinos earlier, right? But they not some team spray painting graffiti. These motherfuckers are stone cold killers ran by Goji Rokoku. They pretty much own the city on some business shit. Goji's planning something called Rokoku Project 2000, where he says he's trying to expand the city and improve productivity for the future. Yeah, does this look like a dude that seems like he cares about the citizens and the future of the city? Come on now. We end up running into a girl and a dude called Cube and Combo. I already mentioned Combo earlier, so you know what he look like. They need help to find their friend Coin, and they end up joining the GGs. They tell the GGs about their backstory of being in Grind City and how their logo's been getting covered up. It was the Golden Rhinos doing, and they also were the ones who kidnapped Coin. So we go to their turf and spray paint our logos on their graffiti to get a reaction out of them. And also we find out that the Golden Rhinos and Goji Rokoku are actually connected. We also find out that record we've been putting together is called the Devil's Contract. The rumor is that record has the ability to summon a demon. While the GGs were out covering the Golden Rhinos posters, the record was stolen from them. Poison Jam gives us info that the Devil record is actually real, and Goji wants to use it to make a contract with a demon to take over the world. So we head to the Rokoku headquarters to finish all of this. We end up fighting Goji on a giant record disc with Rhinos shooting fire at us with the creepiest fucking music playing. After defeating Goji, the Rokoku building is destroyed and his son took over the business. Unfortunately, it comes to find out Coin is most likely dead. RIP to that boy. And the biggest twist is that the Devil's Contract record was a hoax. It was just an indie record. It was just assumed that Goji believed that was real, but he was just going insane with power. Oh, and also, all the gangs are back at their own shenanigans. The ultimate meaning of this game isn't just about teens and graffiti, it's about corporate control and fighting against the government to have freedom of self. I'm telling you, this game is perfect for unwinding and kicking your feet up. Because I mean, the story mode is like, what, 3 hours? It's super short. Even if you're not doing the story mode, you can just skate around spray painting to some upbeat funky music. It's always a vibe. Now the game isn't just jam-packed with features, but I do like how you can make your own graffiti logo even though I'm ass at doing it. Oh yeah, and you can use multiple characters instead of just the original 3 GG members. You already know Cube and Combo join, but also you'll be challenged by others, and if you beat them, they'll join too. I think my favorite characters to use are Cube and Yo-Yo. See, I like Cube because she's just like beat but holds more cans, and I just like Yo-Yo because I like his design and how he moves. Hey, shout out to Slate too because he holds the most cans, but he just moves too heavy for me. Yeah, I love this game and all, but I have to admit, it was a few annoyances I ran into. It's really only 2, and one of the main ones is the tagging missions, bro. I hate these missions so much because sometimes the game acts like I'm not even near them and won't let me tag their backs. The camera acts so janky sometimes when I get too close to them and try to spray them, and it doesn't let me, so I end up bumping into them and then I get turned around, or I just get stunned like for a second, and it's very annoying. And the second thing that bothered me was those fuckers on the jetpacks. Like, just look at this, man. Does this seem like a fun experience? But other than that, yeah, Jet Set Radio goes crazy.